Temperature 38, dropping down near freezing before games end. Not much wind, that's a blessing. And there could be some snow flurries later this afternoon. Ryan Succop, Mr. Irrelevant, the last player selected in the draft this year from South Carolina, tees it up. And at the other end, the brilliant Eddie Royal, Mr. Perfect from Virginia Tech. He has a couple of kick return touchdowns, both against the Chargers earlier this year. And we're underway in Kansas City. Royal from the 7. He's got a gap. And he's out across the 30 to the 32-yard line. Terrence Copper made the tackle for Kansas City. Marshall, the big target at 6'4", out to the left, now in motion. Throw over the middle, wide open is Royal, and he's into Kansas City territory with a first down at the 49-yard line. Ryan Harrison at right tackle. He's been out for almost a month with dislocated toes. That's a big addition for Denver. As Moreno, big gap, and he's down to the 41 before Brandon Flowers, the cornerback, can make the stop. Second and short, a big hole again, and a first down and more for Moreno, and he's down to the 31-yard line. What a start for Denver, moving quickly and with big chunks of yardage. And now the screen pass to the tight end, Graham. He's at the 30 and inside the 25, vaults his way to the 20-yard line. Another double-figure gain for Denver in this opening drive. 11 yards on the play. Carr and McGraw in the secondary made the stop.
That looked a lot like last week's game against San Diego for this Kansas City defense. Antonio Gates on a number of these type of throwback screen passes to the tight end, and then right down the middle he hurt them. But right now this is an absolutely horrible start for Todd Haley's defense.
And brilliant for Josh McDaniel's offense. 4 plays, 49 yards. Back to Moreno, and he absorbs a solid hit from Mike Brown and still falls forward for a yard and a gain of nearly 5.
Take a look at how Denver has done so far this season in the red zone. 40% touchdowns. That's not too good. Something they talked about earlier in the week, that they have to pick that up right now. They're having just a perfect drive. Even that good defensive play by Kansas City's Mike Brown gave up 3.5 yards.
From the 14, fake to Moreno. Orton pausing, throwing over the middle, intercepted in the end zone, and kneeling down is Mike Brown. Kansas City with a touchback at the 20. What a way to halt that opening drive.
Yeah, Demario Williams got up in the air from his middle linebacker spot and just tipped the ball. There he is, right in the middle of the screen. Mike Brown always heads up, always seems to know where the ball is.
Only the 7th time that Kyle Orton has been intercepted this year. And from the 20, it's Jamal Charles on first down for a gain of 4 for Kansas City. Let's go back to that interception to end that quick drive by Denver.
A great depth by Demario Williams, and he probably should have picked that ball off, but he tipped it up in the air, trying to get the ball into Scheffler in the back of the end zone. And Mike Brown, as he's talking to on the sidelines, telling everybody, this is how I did it. I cut in front of him when I saw that ball in the air.
Assist to Williams on the pick. Charles the tailback. Mike Cox the fullback. First throw by Castle is incomplete to Cox the fullback, and he had a little running room out in that right flat. 3rd and 6. Deep down the middle, wide open is Bobby Wade, and he can't get it. Wade was 7 yards in the clear.
7 yards in the clear and a one-handed try for this ball. You got to make this catch. You got to put 2 hands on it. Ball is perfectly thrown. Wade reaches out with just one hand and can't pull it in. Inexcusable. Even if you don't get the touchdown, if you go to the ground making the catch with 2 hands, it's a huge play that this team really needs.
So breaks go both ways as Dustin Colquitt sends a line drive spiral deep to Royal inside the 20. Looking for blocks, 30. And finally dragged down by John McGraw at the 38-yard line. Here's a Buckholder, his first carry. Burrell Buckholder, the former Eagle, and he skips out of bounds with nearly an 8-yard gain. Brandon Carr, the defender.
Well, let's take a look at Champ Bailey here with With Clayton here and the ball, just looked like Champ Bailey lost coverage there. And this reaction right here as Bailey kicks the ball, and then on the sideline, Bobby Wade getting into it with his head coach, Todd Haley. Haley upset that ball was not caught for good reason.
You were upset. 2nd down and 3. Fake the Buckholder. Orton goes deep. Incomplete. Knocked away at the last minute by Brandon Flowers. Brandon Marshall was there.
Really a good play by Brandon Flowers. He made a couple of good plays like this last week against San Diego, but he runs stride for stride with Marshall. Ball slightly underthrown, but that's a superior defensive play.
Former Virginia Tech star Flowers denying a big gainer to Marshall. It's 3rd and 3. Pass is low but caught by Marshall. That's exactly what you were talking about, Dan Fouts. The Denver offense trying to get the ball quickly to Marshall, use his running skills.
Use his skills and his size. 6'4", 230 pounds. He's got 2 blockers immediately in front of him in Gaffney and Graham, and picks up the 1st down with ease, and then puts the lowers the lumber on Mike Brown.
Last 3 games against Kansas City, Marshall has caught 28 and 5 touchdowns. 1st down at the Chiefs 46. Buckholder and a flag down, and so is Buckholder shy of the 45-yard line. Face mask is the initial signal given. Vrabel and Jackson made the tackle.
Personal foul. Face mask. Number 95 of the defense. 15-yard penalty. 1st down.
Nose tackle Ron Edwards guilty of the major foul.
Yeah, penalties have really plagued Kansas City. It's an unusual type of penalty here for the nose tackle. Let's check him out. There's number 95. And he just reaches out and grabs Wegman. That's a good call by the umpire. He saw the left hand right there. Twisted Wegman's head right around.
Meanwhile, Ryan Harris back in the starting lineup after missing almost a month's play has just limped off, and Tyler Columbus has replaced him at right tackle. 1st down at the 30. Just under 10 minutes to go in the opening quarter, and Orton under pressure throws underneath, complete to Buckholder, and he's tackled at the 25-24, a gain of 6 on 1st down. Corey Mays, former Notre Dame star, makes the stop. Vrabel an assist.
Denver really getting a lot of production out of both running backs, Noshawn Moreno and Correll Buckhalter. Buckhalter averaging 4.8 a carry. Moreno 4.3. That is solid 1-2 punch for Denver.
Buckholder, a disappointed alum of Nebraska after that tough loss to Texas last night. Orton 2nd and short. Wide open Royal, and he's to the 10-yard line, and the Broncos are galloping again.
A lot of room given to Royal by Brandon Carr. You know, Carr's not even in the picture yet. Good 10 to 12 yards off Royal, and quickness up the sidelines after the catch. About 15 free yards for number 19.
Officially 14 on the play. 1st and goal at the 10, the full 10 yards for the Broncos to go. And Moreno, the rookie, back in. He gets the call and plows his way for 2.5, 3 yards. Tyson Jackson and Mike Brown collaborated on the tackle. Josh McDaniels, 33 years of age, has led these Denver Broncos with a rebuilt, lot of unrestricted free agents, 12 of those to a 7-4 season, 6 straight wins, then 4 consecutive losses, but a big victory on Thanksgiving Day. Champ Bailey, the veteran corner, he's breathing easier now after he almost saw Bobby Wade go all the way for a touchdown on his coverage. There's a throwback to the tight end Graham, and he can walk in with this one. Touchdown Denver. Daniel Graham with his first of the season.
But not the first time in his career. 24 now for the former New England Patriot. And again, it's a tight end that burns the Chiefs secondary. Beautifully executed screen on the right side of the screen is number 89. He allows the pass rush to go by him. Tom Bahali can't chase him down, and neither can Jovan Belcher. Easy touchdown for Broncos.
It's almost too easy as Matt Prater delivers the extra point, and a 7-0 Bronco lead. And Graham has given the Broncos a 7-0 lead on his catch of the Orton pass. And here's Prater's kick down to Jamal Charles, the speedy ex-Texas Longhorn. And he's out to the 31-yard line. Tim Castile at fullback, and it's Castile fighting his way forward across the 35. Good second effort. There's Niswonger. They came back from the loss in San Diego, and he came right to the stadium and worked on the snap out of the shotgun. Charles to the 41-42. That'll be good enough for the first down. Brian Dawkins, the ex-Eagle. He's quite a leader. Underneath, incomplete. Bobby Wade, the intended receiver, and it's Andre Davis who jarred the ball free.
Great timing by Andre Davis. He knocked the ball away from Wade just as the ball was getting to him. Fans wanted pass interference, but they want a lot of things here in Kansas City at this point. Chiefs
with 9 consecutive losses in December, so both teams have had trouble winning in December. That's Charles, and you can see he runs so fluidly. It doesn't appear that he has that kind of speed, but all of the Broncos we're talking about, it's betraying speed.
And they're trying to up-tempo this ball game right now. So on 3rd down and 6, going no huddle to keep the Broncos from substituting.
And the quick throw to the sideline is complete to Chris Chambers, and the veteran from Wisconsin cradles the catch and a first down at the Denver 47 in front of Champ Bailey.
That was really an important 3rd down conversion for Kansas City. They've struggled just 22% on the season converting 3rd downs, but that was smart to get right to the line of scrimmage. That prevented Denver from giving any exotic looks on a 3rd down and long, and they got the easy completion to Chambers.
A milestone catch for Chambers, his 500th career catch. First down toss is to Castile, and then a throwback to Castle. And Castle fires downfield, incomplete, and almost intercepted by Ronaldo Hill. Chris Chambers was the deep man for Kansas City.
Trying to get the ball real deep to Chambers, but the coverage was there. But what happened is Chambers stops on his route. You can see the toss back here. Good play by Castile to give Castle a good pass here. Now, right here is where Chambers stopped on the route and allowed Hill to come in from behind and knock it out. If Chambers continues back to the quarterback, it's another big play for Kansas City.
Instead, incomplete 2nd and 10, and Charles scampering around the corner, and he has another Chiefs first down at the 36. DJ Williams bumped him out of the field of play.
This is twice now that the Chiefs have used Mike Cox and Tim Castile in the backfield. Here's Cox and here's Castile. Charles in the I formation. This would make Woody Hayes feel very good. The whole full house backfield, basically. 2 good blockers and the speed of Charles for the first down.
Kansas City has not scored an offensive touchdown in the first quarter all year. Serious intent here to try to erase that here in their 12th game of the year. 2nd down and 7. Castle may be changing his play. Back to Charles. Not much of a hole inside the 30-yard line. 3 yards shy of a first down. Brady to Moss connecting again. Castle avoids the rush, then dumps it off to Leonard Pope. The tight end breaks a tackle, fights his way to a first down.
And he didn't break just anybody's tackle. That was Brian Dawkins. Not only break the tackle of Dawkins, he knocked Dawkins' helmet right off. If Pope does not knock over Dawkins, it's going to be short of the first down. What a collision right there. Pope goes 265 pounds. That was a heads-up play by 45 and the quarterback Castle getting away from the initial rush and finding his outlet receiver.
10th catch of the year for the 6'8" tight end Pope. Here at Arrowhead, 2:59 left in the opening quarter. Solid drive engineered by Matt Castle. 4 first downs. And the Chiefs have a first down at the 23-yard line. Trailing 7-0. 11th play of the drive. Wade in motion. And then they throw back a screen to Charles the other way. Well defended by Denver. Short yardage, about 3 or 4. Champ Bailey and Kenny Peterson teamed up on the tackle.
Really smart play by Kenny Peterson from his defensive end spot. Saw all this action with Wade coming in on the reverse. He saw Charles sneaking out on the screen. That's his type of defense Mike Nolan runs, where everybody seems to contribute on different types of plays. I'm talking to DJ Williams. He has 3.5 sacks most of his career. He says none of them came on a designed blitz where he was supposed to pick up the sack. It all came because of his teammates' hard work.
2nd and 6. Charles again. Dropped right at the line of scrimmage by Andre Davis, the former Cleveland Brown.
Now Denver did call a timeout for Brian Dawkins to get his chin strap fixed. It seems like it might have killed some of the momentum that Kansas City had built up.
Out of the shotgun, now they shift under center. And it's Charles on a draw, chase from behind, scoots underneath the tackle, and he has a first down. Terrific second effort by Jamal Charles.
Great balance, great vision, patience, all the ingredients you need in a running back as he comes off the field now. But check him out here. He's going to stop there and then put his right hand down to keep his balance, dive forward, and pick up the first down.
And look who's in here, Dan Fouts. Number 40, Javaris Williams from Tennessee State, the rookie, just activated. Here's his first NFL carry, and he's going to swallow a loss right into the arms of Mario Hagan.
Yeah, he's not going to put that in his time capsule, is he? It was one of those stretch plays, and Mario Hagan seen enough of that. Yep, this is his first carry, and he's in the negative column.
Loss of about 4 on the play. Williams is 5'10" and 223. With Larry Johnson moving on to Cincinnati, and the injury to Colby Smith. Colby Smith on the IR this week. Javaris Williams activated. Charles back in. A lot of time for Castle. He's going to run it. Has a blocker. To the 3-yard line. 1st and goal, Kansas City. Elvis Dumerville pushed him out of bounds.
He may have got him out of bounds before he picked up the first down, too. Looked like Castle wanted to dump the ball off to Castile right about here. And then he said, no, Castile can be my lead blocker. So Castile turns and runs and gets a block there, and that gets Castle 1 yard short of the first down.
Yeah, that was a big play by Dumerville. They mark it at the 3, so it's 3rd down and 1. Charles to the 1, didn't get in the end zone. DJ Williams denied the touchdown, but it's 1st and goal. Charles absorbs another big hit, and the final seconds tick away. Suckup kicking it off. Royal eases up to the 10-yard line, fakes the reverse to Marshall, and then cuts upfield across the 35. Flags are down, a couple of them, and so is Royal in the arms of Travis Daniels.
Pretty creative kickoff return. Took so long to develop. Usually you're going to get a holding call.
During the return, holding number 33 in the return team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Alfonso Smith, the cornerback. Tragically, Thomas died from injuries suffered in a 2000 automobile accident. And they will retire his number at halftime. Marty Schottenheimer, his former coach, is here. Neil Smith, his close friend, defensive end. Orton throws underneath to Marshall. And the big man across the 30 to the 35. A gain of 14 more for Marshall and a first down. Derek Johnson, the tackler.
Yeah, getting him started. There's some short passes. And then wait for it as we'll see the Broncos go deep to Marshall a little bit later. Outstanding drive for the Chiefs on their last possession. Disappointed, though, with the suck-up 22-yard field goal. Questionable call on 1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Charles dropped for a 3-yard loss.
20 plays, the longest of the season for Kansas City, and they don't get the touchdown. First down at the 35. Complete to Royal. No, they say trapped it at the 38-yard line. No catch. Ball thrown low by Kyle Orton, who has a large group of his family here 3 hours away from Runnels, Iowa, where he lettered in football and tennis near Des Moines. Wanted to go to Nebraska. They didn't recruit him. Off to Purdue. There's mom and dad. Dad, an outstanding athlete himself in his day, football and baseball. 2nd and 10. Moreno runs into his blockers and fights his way, hard-earned 2 yards. It'll be 3rd and 8 when we come back. Long yardage for Orton. He throws incomplete. Broken up nicely by Brandon Carr, intended for Marshall.
Again, it's a defensive back taking advantage of a wide receiver who stops on his route and does not continue to come back to the quarterback. Marshall had to dive out to the left to try to make this catch. Good reaction by Carr, and a big stop for Kansas City.
A good thing Marshall did throw his body outside, or Carr would have had an interception on the play. Here's Mitch Berger to punt it. One of the new Broncos. He's averaging 41.7. Flag before the snap. A false start against the Broncos.
False start. Number 33 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
So as they rehuddle and set again, the word from down on the Bronco bench, Ryan Harris, the right tackle, finally back in the starting lineup, has re-injured that foot, and it's unlikely he will return.
And Alfonso Smith with 2 penalties here within minutes.
Bobby Wade camped at the 27-yard line at the other end of the field as Berger delivers the kick. High driving kick. Wade to the 16. Oh, if he had stayed on his feet. All right, first down at the 29-yard line. 7-3, Denver here. 12.5 minutes left in the first half. Charles picking his way, drives upfield to the 35, then rejected by DJ Williams. 2nd and 4. Underneath, and incomplete to Lance Long. A tough catch there. He was surrounded by white jerseys, including Mario Hagan. But a quick huddle, and now Castle throws deep for Wade again, and he thought he was held. No flag down. He thought he was checked earlier in the route, but no flag.
That looked like the veteran Ty Law. They've gotten a hand on Bobby Wade. Ball well overthrown left side of the screen. You can see number 80 and number 26. Wade is going to get behind Law. Law reaches out there, barely grabs him. That's a veteran move by Law because he got away with it.
And the punt is Dustin Colquitt, the kicking son of Craig Colquitt, who was with the Super Bowl Steelers. And the fair catch at the 20-yard line by Eddie Royal. Leading 7-3. They start from the 20 of the Broncos, and Correll Buckhalter 10, 15, 20, 25, and down he goes with a gain of nearly 28. Mike Brown got just enough of him to deny a possible score.
Yeah, as he was falling down, there was nothing between him and the goal line. His longest run of the year so far was a 45-yarder against Cleveland. This one would have gone the distance if it wasn't for that tackle by Mike Brown.
26 yards on the play. He had the buck, and Brown had the holder just enough to stop him from a score. Moreno, the rookie, to the 50-yard line. Gain of 4 into the arms of John McGraw.
They're running left behind Ryan Clady, the second-year #1 pick out of Boise State. Clady, projected future star in this league. He's already one of the best, just his second year, but they know they've got something there, working against Glenn Dorsey, another #1 pick.
Great athlete at 6'6" and 326. Played his college ball at Boise State. Buckhalter in now, 2nd down and 6. And there he goes again off the left side inside the 35-yard line. Mike Vrabel finally drags him down. Oh, eating big yardage off that left side behind Clady.
Clady and Graham side by side, and then they bring Scheffler over. Here's Clady and Graham. 88 is Scheffler outside as a wide receiver. He takes Mike Brown out of the play, but they've found something on that left side, and they're just going to keep pounding the Chiefs.
Russ Hochstein sealing off the defense on that left side as well. 17 on that play. Now Moreno ducks down to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, that's the type of mentality that Josh McDaniels has. It's kind of a throwback mentality of some of the great coaches. Run plays that are successful until the defense stops them. That was just a 2.5, 3-yard gain that time. But again, it was to the left side.
Combined 85 yards rushing. When they run more than they pass, the Broncos are 4-0 this year.
And right now they've run 11, thrown 11.
Orton on 2nd and 7. Underneath, complete. The Marshall breaks a tackle. Tackle from behind at the 16 by Brandon Flowers. Not until Marshall has another catch, another Denver first down. That's 3 receptions for big Brandon.
Broke the tackle of Corey Mays, the linebacker number 51 here, as he runs a little option route on Mays. And then Mays just can't bring him down. The surprising size, strength of Marshall. Again, he's a 230-pounder. Wide receiver. Wow.
61 catches this year for Marshall, looking for a 3rd consecutive 1,000-yard season. And there's Buckholder just weaving his way through another big hole and inside the 5-yard line. And they're just chewing up chunks.
Yeah, this time they're going to go right side behind Chris Cooper and Tyler Columbus. And the center Casey Wigman as well. But Buckhalter gives you a little more punch in there. He's about 15 pounds heavier than Noshawn Moreno, but the two of them similar running styles. Great pad level and forward body lean.
Umpire Bruce Kreteski involved in a block on that play. And here's Moreno, stopped at the 1.5 yards. Corey Mays led the charge for Kansas City.
It just seemed like the timing on that play, it looked like Moreno was too close to his fullback Spencer Larson and really kind of rushed the play, didn't allow the blocking to develop on that left side. Maybe a rookie mistake, running behind an inexperienced fullback and Spencer Larson, the fullback slash linebacker slash special teams maven.
99 yards rushing for the Broncos this first half, averaging almost 8 a carry. Moreno, touchdown Denver.
Yeah, big difference on that play. He let it develop. The Chiefs kind of ran to the sidelines. Moreno saw it right up the middle behind Hochstein and Wigman. Got into the end zone with ease. Watch this time. He heads this way and then back over the middle. Great vision by Moreno.
That one-cut style that Terrell Davis, and he was starring with the Broncos with Elway, led them to a couple of Super Bowls. Prater adds the extra point. 80 yards, 8 plays, mostly on the ground. Moreno the capper from 2 yards out.
Yeah, they ran the ball 7 times on that drive. Only threw it 1 time, a completion to Marshall. But Buckhalter 56 yards of that total.
Not touched until he's 5 yards into the secondary. Prater's kick spins down to the 1. Quentin Lawrence returning this one and takes it out to the 25-yard line. Look at the two teams' performance here in the first half. 7.6 yards a play for Denver, only 3 for Kansas City a play. Fumble, and Charles able to fall back on it. A missed exchange, and Jamal Charles avoids total disaster as Elvis Dumerville was right there.
Yeah, well, let's check out the exchange between Castle and Charles. It appeared to be right in his stomach, maybe taking his eye off that ball. But 4 turnovers last week against San Diego led to 28 points. Something the Chiefs obviously need to avoid today.
Puts him in the second 13, and Chambers was well covered on the left side, so he dumps it to the right side to Bobby Wade, and Wade knocked out of bounds at the 30, 4 yards short of a first down. Brian Dawkins and Andre Goodman teamed up. Dawkins is all over the field at age 36 in his 14th season. Whoops. Leonard Pope is 5 yards downfield.
I think that's offsides against Kansas City.
False start.
Yeah.
Number 45 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
I guess he couldn't hide, huh?
He is a big one.
And quick, too.
If it weren't for that doggone red uniform, they catch you every time. Referee Jeff Triplett reacting to Ty Law coming up to check him at the line of scrimmage.
I'm not sure what the discussion was with the Chiefs. Were claiming that Pope was induced to starting early, but the defense can do that.
As long as they don't make contact.
Yeah.
Third down 9. Castle. Dumerville makes the tackle at the 22-yard line, and that'll be a sack, and it'll be the 15th of the year for sensational Elvis Dumerville, the 4th-year backer from Louisville.
And that leaves him one behind Simon Fletcher, the Denver record. In fact, Dumerville, all the way over here, has more sacks now than the entire Chief defense.
Isn't that something? 15 for Dumerville, 14 for Kansas City's total defense.
Good speed by Dumerville. That's his trademark.
Denver's never had a sack leader in their history. High kick to Eddie Royal from the 33. Lots of dancing, and finally makes it out to the 39-yard line. Jovan Belcher, the tackler. The Chiefs are 15-1 at home in December against the Broncos. 17-1 if you count the 2 games they won when they were the Dallas Texans. Moreno. One of the rare times today the running game does not produce substantial yardage, as Corey Mays in the midst of that play.
Really good recognition by Mays and speed to get to the edge. Moreno's got that type of speed that if he can get there, he can really cause trouble. But Mays comes off the field now knowing he did a good job on first down.
Clock ticking down to 4:50 left in this opening half. Back to Moreno. He plows for 3 yards. Glenn Dorsey and company with the stop. Dorsey, one of the series of LSU Tigers #1 picks by this Kansas City franchise. He was Outland and Nagurski and Lombardi and Lott Award winner his collegiate days. Crowd trying to help the defense on 3rd and long. Down the middle, wide open, but he drops the ball. Tony Scheffler. Oh my, that was too easy for the former Western Michigan star.
Yeah, I think he was looking to run. He knew he was wide open. He had the first down. Look at him right over the middle. Ball perfectly thrown, and you could just see at the last minute he took his eye off the ball to see where Mike Brown was. Mike Brown coming in there, number 30. But that is a plain drop pass by Tony Scheffler.
So 14-3 Denver, and now the punt team on. Mitch Berger to kick it to Bobby Wade. And the Viking Berger. Boy, does he drive this one. Wade is going to field it at the 5. And rudely knocked out of bounds by Scheffler. He had a little anger going after that drop pass.
Yeah, good job by Spencer Larson to get him to the sidelines, and then 88 polishes him off. Big mistake though by Wade. That gives up 11 yards. That ball probably would have gone in the end zone. Fielded it at the 5. Chiefs will take over at the 9. And a bruise to go with it.
Now Castle starts deep in his own end, trailing by 11, and Scheffler makes some amends with that special teams tackle. Jamal Charles hit right at the line of scrimmage. Quick throw out to Wade. Wade looks for a block and able to pick up 5 yards. 6 make it before Dumerville can make the stop. Now 3rd down.
This is what the Chiefs have done offensively. They had that great 20-play drive that only netted them a field goal. Colquitt 3 punts.
3rd and a long 3 shotgun. Castle quick throw and another drop. Brad Cottom, the tight end, turned to make the catch and it went right through his hands.
Castle now 5 of 13 for 32 yards and a number of balls that coulda, shoulda, or would have been caught. That one right on target, right to the nose of Cottom. And if you're keeping score at home, that's 7 balls that should have been caught.
Some of them tough chances, but some of them right there, as that one was. Caught him with only 1 catch all year. Colquitt pounds this one all the way to the 25. A tough catch by Royal. Gets away from the first wave. Out to the 35-yard line. You can hear the Denver Bronco fans cheering. A lot of folks from the Mile High City making the drive.
It's a great afternoon of football.
Yeah, those young guys play with such honor. Here's the toss to Buckholder. He breaks a tackle and drives across the 40 to the 43 and another 8-yard pickup. Buckholder has got quite an average going for himself today. Every time he handles the ball, big things happen. He's carried 6 times for 72 yards, a 12-yard average. That'll play. Coming up to the 2-minute warning. 2:08 on the clock. Back to Buckholder. First down through another big hole and to Kansas City territory at the 47-yard line before John McGraw. Denver leading 14-3. The screen out to Buckholder, and he's finally ridden out of bounds by Brandon Carr.
It makes you wonder why the Broncos are even throwing the ball the way they've been just gashing the Chief defense. Last drive it was left side. This present drive they've been finding success running to their right side of the offensive line.
Josh McDaniels enjoying that kind of average per play. Credit Travis Daniels with that last stop. Buckholder stays in. He's having a field day. Ran for 11 yards his last carry and his average dropped. Orton chased from behind and they get him at the 49. Tamba Hali. His 4.5 sacks for the year for Ali. He leads the Chiefs.
Yeah, he beat Ryan Clady right off the get-go. Ball was snapped. Really good quickness by Hali. And diving out and bringing down Orton. First sack of the afternoon.
And you have to wonder, any tackle down that low around that wounded ankle of Orton brings some caring looks from the sidelines. He said he's probably going to have to deal with the pain of that ankle injury suffered in Washington all season long. So 3rd and 13 for Orton. Good protection this time. Ali knocks it away and it's recovered. It's going to be called an incomplete pass covered by the Chiefs. A flag down. Ali was being held. Dorsey fell on the football.
Looked like Daniel Graham got called for holding as he's blocking on Hali. Actually, it's Ryan Clady.
Holding. Number 78 in the offense. The penalty is declined. It is a fumble.
And they're calling it a fumble.
It is ruled a fumble, and Dorsey recovers at midfield for Kansas City.
Well, let's see. Tamba Hali, he swatted the ball just as Orton was coming through with it. And that's a good call.
That is a good call. He did. The ball had left his hand before the hand moved forward.
An excellent opportunity for Kansas City now. Great field position and 3 timeouts with a minute to go.
How about Ali? Back-to-back sacks for a team that has only 14 all season coming in.
And beating Ryan Clady.
Being reviewed upstairs. Dorsey, the right man in the right spot for Kansas City to fall on it at midfield.
Yeah, I think this is a good call by Jeff Triplett. It's the ball. Watch the spin of the ball. That ball is not thrown. That ball is knocked out of Orton's hand by Tamba Hali. It's close. It's real close, but that is a fumble in my book.
So the review decision has come down, and Jeff Triplett is yet to announce it, but we understand that it has been confirmed that is a fumble. Reviewed as the game was ongoing, so Todd Haley's team has a chance here with a minute exactly left in this opening half to try to add to their 3 points. Castle underneath to Pope, the tight end, and the rangy 6'8" Pope is down to the 38-yard line, and time called by Kansas City. They have 2 more remaining. Back in cloudy, cool Kansas City. Possible dusting of snow later today is the forecast. Orton stripped on the blind side, hit by Ali, and now a first down. Kansas City at the 39-yard line with the Broncos up 14-3. 53 seconds remaining in the half. 2 timeouts still left for the Chiefs. Castle wanted to go long. Now runs to the sidelines. Out of bounds at the 35. Stops the clock with 45 seconds left.
Yeah, good zone defense by Denver there. They were going to think about throwing the hook and go to Chris Chambers, but the soft zone played by Champ Bailey prevented that. And then Castle running out to the right had nothing with Lance Long along the sidelines.
Save the timeout. Quick throw underneath to Chambers, gets a block, and the veteran to the 29-yard line. It's going to be close to a first down. Doomerville made the tackle. Timeout Chiefs. First meeting of these 2 rookie coaches, Josh McDaniels, Todd Haley. Former John Carroll University Blue Streak star, same university that featured Don Shula in his college days. Short of the first down by about a half yard. Castle. Finally throws it away. He was going to be tackled for about a 2-yard loss, but that's going to bring up 4th down and 1. Darrell Reed was chasing him out of bounds.
You got to go for it. You're down by 11. You need a touchdown, not only to stay in this ball game, but to continue to build. And I just don't understand going for a long field goal here. 4th and 1, and you're going to try a field goal instead of trying to convert the 4th and short.
An apparent field goal try. Colquitt to hold. Suckup will hit it at the 37-yard line. A 47-yard attempt. His longest is 53 this year. Time called just as the ball was about to be snapped.
Kansas City, their 3rd and final charge timeout.
Interesting timeout call by Todd Haley. He now has used his allotment of 3, and Josh McDaniels, meanwhile, he's going to get some different personnel on the field.
Questionable call on 3rd and just a yard for the Chiefs on the previous play when Castle had nothing. He had to run out of bounds.
So the 47-yard attempt by Suckup, who hit from 22 earlier in this half. Like an arrow. Suckup a couple of field goals to give the Chiefs 6 points in this opening half. So the Denver Broncos with a pair of touchdowns. Kansas City with a brace of field goals and a 14-6 game. 20 yards in 5 plays after the fumble recovery of the Orton fumble by Glenn Dorsey. Oh, Eddie Royal drops back deep. Ryan Suckup will see whether or not he just tries to drive a low line drive here. Keep it away from the dangerous Royal. No. They'll send it high and short again on the run. Royal ducks to the 28-yard line with 19 seconds left for the Broncos.
Yeah, just one timeout for Josh McDaniels and his quarterback Kyle Orton. Like they're selecting a play, maybe get down the field, the ball to Brandon Marshall, see what he can do.
Yeah, a little safe pass, get him into the open field and see if the big guy can chew up enough yardage to get him a long field goal to answer back. Matt Prater was showing a big leg in warm-up. He was hitting some that would have been good from 60 yards. That's going to be the Buckholder, and this time he's dropped quickly by Ali at the 34-yard line, and that will be the last play of this opening half at Arrowhead. Josh McDaniels Broncos looking to stay within a game of the San Diego Chargers. And you can feel the temperature dropping here in Kansas City as we open the second half. Kansas City won the toss, deferred, so here they come. Charles collects it at the 8-yard line. And the man who returned 197 yards for a touchdown against the Steelers to open the game, and then an upset win over the Super Bowl champions. Charles takes it out across the 25 as Matt Castle takes the field with the Kansas City offense. The real killer drive was the 20-play drive. That was the longest drive by the Chiefs in 21 years. And they got to the 1-yard line first and goal and couldn't get a touchdown.
Yeah, questionable call on that first and goal from the 1-yard line. They tried to run to the corner instead of going straight ahead with a possible quarterback sneak or a dive over the top by Charles.
Tim Castile starts at tailback, and Castile not much there off the right side, smothered by the Denver defense.
Jamal Charles is on the sidelines. He limped off after that last return and to be in some type of discomfort there.
This
limping
is
on the right side. Yeah,
he has taken a lot of hard hits throughout this game, and as the feature back now with Larry Johnson gone and Colby Smith on injured reserve, not many in support. Castile just does elude the pressure and gets it away to save the loss. Castle chased by Andre Davis out of bounds.
Yeah,
Mario Hagan almost had him.
Yeah, Todd Haley's in a tough position here with Jamal Charles. He obviously is such a valuable weapon, special teams with a kickoff return, but how many times can you use them on special teams when you need them on offense?
There's a quick no huddle by Castle and the Chiefs. Throws down the middle, incomplete, intended for Leonard Pope, the tight end, and Ronaldo Hill bats it away, and that's a quick 3 and out for Castle and the Chiefs.
Yeah, 52 seconds off the clock, and a lot of that was on the kickoff return itself, so a horrible start for Kansas City.
And the Broncos rushing the ball so effectively, they shift into a.
That's Brody Croyle back there.
And the throw is going to be well short and incomplete on 4th down. I don't understand that call at all. To start the second half when you're 4th and long.
And Richard Quinn got in there and tipped that ball. A trick play tried by Todd Haley as Brody Croyle came in as the punter. And watch number 81 here, totally unblocked. Croyle trying to throw the ball down the field. Heck of an effort by Richard Quinn. And great field position to start the second half after the failed gamble by Todd Haley and the Chiefs.
Ouch.
Man.
So a gift takeover on downs at the 27-yard line. Moreno dropped. Yes, he hits the right side by Hawley, and Tamba Hawley has had a big game for Kansas City defensively. He is their top player on that side of the ball, a 4th-year backer out of Penn State.
Yeah, it looked like if Richard Quinn doesn't tip this ball, it might have been a complete pass for a big gain. It appeared that there was a receiver for Kansas City on that fake punt on that side of the field.
But quite a risk to open the second half. Fake by Orton. Under pressure, he throws incomplete over the middle. Mike Brown covering Tony Scheffler.
Quite a risk to start the second half, and yet not taking a risk maybe on 4th and 1, settling for the field goal to end the first half.
This almost was a catch. The ball, did it hit the ground? Yes, it did. And then off Brown, and then Scheffler thought he might have a freak catch there, but it had hit the turf. So 3rd down, short 9. Buckholder in the backfield with Orton. Here comes the blitz. And a flag down. Off the corner was Travis Daniels to put the pressure on Orton and knock that ball incomplete.
Yeah, Daniels is the nickel back, and he timed his blitz perfectly. To be holding against Broncos will be declined.
28 of the offense. The penalty is declined. 4th down.
Buckholder trying to help out his quarterback. Declined, obviously, will bring out the field goal team.
I'm almost wondering if you accept that penalty and push him back an extra 10 yards. I know it gives the Broncos another down, but 3rd and 19 it would have been. This is very makeable range for Prater.
44-yard attempt out of Berger's hold. Prater missing only 4 all year. And the play whistle dead. Here we go, says Jeff Triplett.
Well, tell us what you got. You got me? Who's got Dick?
The clock at 13:20.
There we go.
44-yard attempt now by Prater. It is plenty good and plenty deep. Oh, he's got a big leg. All right, 17-6 as the 44-yard field goal by Prater after the fake punt takeover by the Broncos at the Kansas City 27. Quentin Lawrence at the 2 for the Chiefs. Stays on his feet to cross the 20-yard line. Good coverage by Denver. Champ Bailey on special teams making the tackle.
Now let's go back to the fake punt try here. This is a well-designed play by Kansas City. The center, number 43, is Thomas Gafford. Both these receivers here are off the line of scrimmage. That makes Gafford an eligible receiver here. As he sneaks out, if Quinn doesn't make that play there, this is a huge gain for Kansas City.
Assuming Gafford would catch the ball the way things have been going. Quinn did save a big play, or the opportunity. The tight end, Quinn. When's the last time you saw a center lined up as an eligible receiver?
I think it was on the street when we were playing touch football, when you go down to the 56 Chevy and turn left.
You got to give Todd Haley A for creativity.
And Richard Quinn an A+ for athletic ability.
Eventually the Broncos capitalize a 3-point gain, 17-6, and here's Javaris Williams, and Williams playing in his first NFL game and being rejected by DJ Williams. 2 carries, both for losses.
And it really makes you wonder about Jamal Charles and how badly hurt he is, although he comes into the huddle right now for Kansas City. But losing Colby Smith, Dantrell Savage not being able to play today.
You know, the Chiefs are short on running backs, and Javaris Williams just activated this week off the practice squad. Castle intercepted, and it is Andre Goodman with his 4th of the season, and the Broncos are back in business at the Chiefs' 20-yard line.
Well, just trying to force the ball down the sidelines to his wide receiver on that side of the field. Watch Castle throw a perfect strike to Goodman. Receiver gone down. That's Lance Long. And reading the eyes of the quarterback is Goodman. You can see number 23 is Hill. He's in a zone coverage, as was Goodman. Easy pickings for 21.
Well, back on offense, Kyle Orton and the Broncos with a 17-6 lead at the Chiefs 21. Moreno stays on his feet, stumbles inside the 15-yard line. Finally down by Brown and McGraw, the two safeties. Matt Vrabel back in uniform and action today. So much praise about his veteran leadership. Missed the last couple of weeks. Mike Vrabel, 13-year veteran from Ohio State. There's Moreno. Again, the first tackler unable to bring him down and able to get extra yardage off second effort. Ali finally with a tackle at the 10-yard line.
You gotta like the design of that play, because once the pitch was made out to Moreno, he had two blockers out in front, Scheffler and Brandon Marshall. Marshall coming off the field now, looks like he's holding his left arm. Been injured on that play trying to block for Moreno.
So now ball just shy of the 10-yard line, so it's 1st and 10. And stumbling again is Moreno, and still stumbles forward for a gain of 3.
Let's go back a play and see if we can find out what happened to Brandon Marshall, blocking on Brandon Flowers in this Brandon Bowl game. It's his left arm that he was holding.
Didn't see anything there. He's back in the game, so maybe just a little tick.
Playing possum, perhaps.
Fake to Moreno. The quick throw is to Marshall, and Marshall is in the end zone for a touchdown. His 7th of the season. Oh, listen to those Bronco fans.
Yeah, I think he might have been playing a little possum. That smile kind of gives him away there. He went off the field with an apparent injury. He sure looks good on this play. Again, blockers in front. Eddie Royal. You get Clady out in front. Hochstein as well. Good design, good execution for Denver.
He's a scoring machine, Brandon Marshall. Prater's extra point try. And a big smile from touchdown maker Brandon Marshall. 7 yards for his 7th score of the season. And the Broncos have hit the magic 20-point-plus mark. They're 5-0 this year when scoring 20. Short man is Terrence Copper, the wide receiver, and he struggles out to the 24-yard line in the grasp of Hagan. Not a lot of smiles on the Kansas City bench as we're back to the action, and Jamal Charles spurts up the middle across the 30-yard line, a gain of about 7 on first down. Dawkins and Hagan on the tackle. Hurry up offense now for Kansas City. Problem for the Chiefs has been consistent, and Todd Haley's done everything to try to correct it, and that is they just can't seem to get off the block quickly. They fall behind early in the game and can't catch up. Their best scoring quarter playing from behind has been the 4th quarter. Charles again, and he's dragged down as DJ Williams has yet another tackle. Leading ball stopper on the year is DJ Williams. 7 draw passes, 4-3, and now it's failed from
Rick Partridge was a punter in the National Football League at one time for the San Diego Chargers.
Didn't the Broncos have a pair that played right tackle?
I think so. And getting back, let's tie up the little train James at going to commercial there. My favorite player, San Diego Chargers. Kick returner, running back, wide receiver.
Lionel Little Train James.
And a first down. Hey,
Charles just did get the first down in the arms of Andre Davis. And he takes a big beating, and he's only 199 pounds at 5'11". Castle down the middle deep, incomplete. Chambers was short and Wade was going long, and it looked as if Chambers didn't get a chance to look back for the ball.
It appeared that the ball was one of those tweener throws, too high for Chambers and too short for Wade, as Wade was streaking deep.
7 for 21 now for Matt Castle. Watch out. Intercepted by Denver. Ronaldo Hill. He had that one zeroed in all the way. Hill with his second pick of the season.
Had tight coverage on Lance Long. Ball thrown long. Ball thrown too high for the 5'11" Lance Long, and right behind him was Ronaldo Hill. The pressure on Castle. That ball came out high.
Did it get? It looked like it might have been deflected. Look how the ball chains flopping out there.
Yeah, I think he got bumped as he was letting it go, Dick, and that's why it got out of spiral. Yeah, he got hit right there. Looked like Doomerville one more time with the pressure on the quarterback.
Broncos now their third possession, all in Kansas City territory here in the second half. They attempt to build on their 24-6 lead, and here comes Buckholder dancing his way to the 29-yard line. Mike Brown makes the tackle, but Buckholder right at his average, another 12 plus on that one. Here's Buckholder. He squirts away from several defenders, and finally McGraw knocks him out of bounds along with Mike Brown. But Buckholder appeared to be corralled after just a short gain.
Yeah, he looks hurt, though. That left leg, he's limping badly on it as he goes over to the Bronco bench. But, you know, he knows he's having a big day, so he's going to just continue to add to it. McGraw knocks him out of bounds with Carr, and there's the limp.
Corral Buckholder with 113 yards on just 10 carries today. Moreno now in, and he takes the toss. Cuts back and again skips out of a tackle. Former high school national hurdles champion, showing that drag leg is not enough to bring him down.
See, so many of these running backs these days have such great strength in their thighs to be able to pull out of those tackles that are, it appears that you're going to get tackled behind the line of scrimmage, but they just seem to jump right out of the tackle and pick up positive yards.
Buckholder's 113 yards, his best as a Bronco. Back to, no, not to the rookie, the fake, and then the throw to Marshall, and Marshall runs right into a red jersey, and he's not going anywhere this time as they gang up on him. It was Brandon Flowers who read the play and was there immediately for Kansas City.
Really a slow developing quick screen out to the wide receiver. Clady was out there a little bit too late to get Flowers, but give Flowers credit for recognizing the play and then finishing Brandon Marshall off.
Loss on the play brings up 3rd down and 11 at the 20-yard line.
A couple of good plays by Brandon Flowers in this ball game.
Meanwhile, Matt Castle can't be 3.2 passer rating on 7 for 22 and only 48 yards, a couple of picks.
Ouch.
Timeout Denver. 3rd and 11 for Orton and the Broncos. Buckholder with him in the shotgun. Brandon Stokely in motion. Orton throwing for Marshall, and it's picked off but out of bounds. Leaping try and catch by Carr, but he had been pushed out of bounds. So that brings up 4th down, another field goal attempt.
A lot of contact there. Brandon Marshall pushing off, and a great effort by Carr to try to get this ball in the field of play.
Here comes Prater from 38 yards. His last was good from 44. And he drives it through. 27-6. And welcome back, Matt Castle. Horrific 3rd quarter. 0 for 5 and a couple of interceptions, and Denver's played on the Chiefs' half of the field here in the 3rd quarter, adding 13 more points and a 27-6 lead with 5:53 left in the 3rd period. Prater to either Charles or Lawrence. Quentin Lawrence deep this time, 2 yards deep, and he's going to bring it out. Stopped just shy of the 20-yard line.
The 4 plays in that first possession, and the 4th play was the failed Fake punt.
Castle into the flat, complete to Bobby Wade.
That was nifty.
No waking for Sam on that one. Throw is in the flat, incomplete. It hit the ground as the diving try by Charles. And that'll bring up third down for Kansas City.
The Chiefs, Dick, have done a pretty decent job of protecting Castle. They've gotten pressure on him. They only sacked him that one time. That was on basically a scramble out of the pocket when Doomerville got him. But by and large, pretty good pass protection.
Good pass coverage, too, by Denver. No one open here. Now the long throw for Wade. Can't get it. Desperation crossfield throw. Now the fans showing their unhappiness with the effort by the Chiefs.
How much do they miss Dwayne Bowe in this pass offense? Huge mistake by Dwayne Bowe, being suspended by the league for substance abuse. And it's just absolutely killed this pass offense.
Royal back. Colquitt, one of the top punters in the league, drives another long one inside the 20. And Royal dragged down at the 24-yard line by John McGraw. 58-yard punt. Passing leaders today, Brady having a big game. So is his counterpart in that game, Miami's Chad Henne, McNabb, Garrard. Rushing leaders, Buckholder at the top of the list at the moment, one ahead of Jonathan Stewart. And here is Buckholder, and they're waiting for him this time. Gain of only one. Quite a surge led by Vrabel. Pierre Garçon. Joe Cinco atop the receiving list at this point today. And there's Wes Welker. It just seems like every week he's in the top 5.
And right now the Chiefs have got to be thinking about getting the ball loose from one of these running backs, picking off Orton, creating some type of opportunity on a shorter field for their offense.
Terrell Buckholder, a tailback. And then the reverse to Brent and Marshall. With blockers in front. Ali slows him up and McGraw gets him out of bounds.
He had one blocker in front. That was Clady. The other guy in front was Orton. So really just one blocker in front and a guy just out there running, trying to get in somebody's way. Again, it's a reverse to Marshall. He's got good speed to the corner, but so does Tamba Hali. And nowhere. There's Orton. Yeah, Orton got in there at the very
He
end.
got a little push in there. Couple yards on the play. 3rd and 7. Clock ticking away as they stay on the ground. 3:45 left in the 3rd. Fake to Buckholder. Orton underneath, incomplete, intended for Jabbar Gaffney. First time they've thrown it to the former Florida wide receiver.
Yeah, it's a great defensive stand for this Chief defense. Up a lot of points here in the second half, but they needed that 3 and out badly. And the offense should get better field position now if Wade can get a good return off of Berger's punt.
Wade drifts back to the Kansas City 30. Played his college ball at Arizona. He was the triple jump champion of the state of Arizona in high school. Here comes a full rush, and they have the block for a moment. Oh, just how did they miss that? And the ball takes a big bounce anyway. Flag is down. And
Jovan Belcher got in there, Dick, did not get the ball, but he did get the punter.
How did he miss the ball?
You know, he didn't lay out. He kind of just went in and put his hands up in the air and ran into the leg of Mitch Berger. Berger with a big smile. Just kind of been that type of afternoon for KC.
Running into the kicker. That 5-yard penalty is declined. First down.
They got such a great roll on the punt that the Broncos decline the penalty and take the kick. It's a 5-yard, not a 15-yard penalty.
Here's Belcher. Now, if he lays out and dives in front of the punter, he's going to block this ball, but he just ran through and clipped the foot of Berger. But at that point there, he's got to lay out and try to block that ball. This would have been a huge play for Kansas City.
125 yards total offense by the Chiefs today. Correll Buckholder has 124 rushing himself. Castle to the sidelines, and he hits Lance Long. Little guy, what a delightful young man he is. He's one of those players that he has always overlooked all of his football life. Went to Toledo as a freshman. Said, I still think I can make it to the NFL. He and his dad drove 1,000 miles down to Starkville, Mississippi, and walked on at Mississippi State. Finally caught their eye. It started only a handful of games. Free agent at Arizona. Picked up off the practice squad by Kansas City. And the whistle, no play.
Yeah, false start against the Chiefs.
False start. Number 45 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
And Todd Haley coached this young man Lance Long at Arizona last year, and so when he was available they picked him off the Arizona practice squad. And he said to us yesterday he studies Wes Welker's video every week to see his moves because he wants to be like him. He's certainly built like Welker.
Yeah, not quite sure he's 5'11", but he's got that quickness and intelligence to work the slot.
Oh, Charles hit in the backfield, fumbles the ball, picked up by Andre Goodman, and he goes in for the touchdown. The tackle made by Mario Hagan strips Charles, who has lost his 3rd fumble of the season, and it goes for a Bronco defensive touchdown.
Yeah, this happened to the Chiefs last week against San Diego when Castle had the ball slip out of his hand. It was returned for a touchdown. Watch the left hand there of Hagan just slap the ball out. And then it's Goodman with the easy return for the touchdown, looking like a shortstop there. He got on the short hop and nobody in his way to the end zone.
30 yards on the run for touchdown off the fumble recovery by cornerback Andre Goodman. Pretty good quarter for him. An intercepted pass and now a fumble recovery for a score. Prater for the extra point and a 34-6 lead. And again, 4 times the Broncos in this quarter have taken the ball in Kansas City territory, and it's led to 2 touchdowns and 2 field goals.
And it's a stretch play. Hagan shoots the gap right there, punches it out. And then the quickness, good hands of Goodman for the end zone and the touchdown. But you go back to the punt that Belcher doesn't lay out, doesn't get the block. The Chiefs might have scored at that point, or at least had great field position. This is just a symptom of a young team with a bunch of new players, a new coach, and a lot of adversity to overcome and a lot of self-inflicted wounds.
Yeah, they've become unraveled today here at home after absorbing a 43-14 loss last week at San Diego. But you could go back and look at the game last week, and Todd Haley did that. They didn't play that badly. There were some bad bounces, and that happens in this game too. But today it seems more bad play by his young team.
And questionable calls by the head coach / offensive coordinator as well. The failed punt that looked good on paper and came within an eyelash of being a big play. But questionable calls on short yardage, 3rd and 1 at the goal line, or 1st and 1 on the goal line, and then not going it for 4th and 1 at the end of the first half.
That's 45 points off turnovers allowed by Kansas City in the last 2 games. Quentin Lawrence on the return. Staggers out to the 22-yard line. Yeah, whether they're cold or just hiding from what the home team has presented. An ugly 3rd quarter. Charles out across the 25-yard line, tackled by Marcus Thomas. And Darcel McBath came to Kansas City as an unrestricted free agent from the Dolphins this year.
As did Ronaldo Hill.
12 of them picked up by Denver. Castle over the middle and complete to Bobby Wade. Hangs on to this one for a first down at the 40-yard line. Ooh, something really brewing in the nation's capital as Castle goes down, sacked by Vonnie Holliday, the veteran defensive end, a former Kansas City Chief. Vonnie from his middle name Giovanni.
Yeah, you see that score in Washington, you wonder if there are some imposters there perhaps playing for the Redskins.
Did we have a secret ballot overnight and we have a new administration there? Castle lobbing this one almost over the head and into the arms of Andre Goodman. Brad caught him, the receiver, and Goodman almost had another gift. Darcel McBath back there as well. Well, if New Orleans with a perfect record with Minnesota 10-1, and Dallas and Arizona, the division leaders, Philadelphia, having another big game today. And Castle will spend a timeout with 1:07 left in the third.
That's a big game in Washington for the Saints. They got to keep ahead of the Minnesota Vikings. Of course, the home field advantage. Both teams play indoors. Very loud atmosphere, both in Minnesota and down at the Superdome in New Orleans. So, want to have that home field advantage throughout. That's why that game in Washington is so important for the Saints.
The Saints went into that game. If they won and Atlanta lost or tied, the Saints would have clinched that South Division. Minnesota, what a year for them and Brett Favre. They will play Green Bay tomorrow night. And the Colts have clinched the first round bye. If there were some elongated possibilities that they could even done better than that. There's a pass to Chambers, incomplete. Just nothing good arising out of this third quarter in Kansas City for the hometown Chiefs.
Yeah, great job by Champ Bailey faking the blitz. That forced Castle to think he was coming. He's trying to throw the hot route. There's Bailey actually peeling off, and Ronaldo Hill coming over to guard Chambers. Chambers has only 2 catches today for just 11 yards.
A good thing that pass was offline, because it would have been another pick for 6. Royal inside the 10 to field the punt. Gives ground and is down at the 5-yard line. He was bumped early and tripped up, lost his balance, and looks like he injured himself on the play. Lost his shoe.
About to lose his sock as well. There's an obvious pain. Trying to do too much with that long punt. That's what these returners see, though. They see the long punt and they see, hey, I'm going to get a long return with it as well.
Flag down on the play. Back on the Kansas City side of the field.
Offside, number 33, the receiving team. Penalties decline. Result of the play, first down.
Alfonso Smith for the 3rd time. And Royal able to leave the field under his own power. That's good news for Denver fans. Valuable commodity. Yeah, it looked like he just got clipped there, and then without the shoe, it looked like he bent his toe as he was.
He got a big bump on the head as well, so there could be a number of things wrong with Eddie Royal right now.
So Orton, this is unfamiliar territory for Orton and the Broncos, deep in their own end. They've been playing this whole second half on the other side of the field. Kansas City side. Moreno, short yardage on first down. Well, Brandon Marshall is out there, gives us a chance to talk about Marshall. He is the legal guardian of a nephew, 17-year-old nephew, who plays for Mullen High School in Denver, and they're coached by former NFL tight end Dave Logan, and Logan's team went unbeaten, won the Colorado State Championship. And Brandon Marshall's 17-year-old nephew also wears number 15, one of the stars of that team. And then Logan had to get here in time to broadcast the game today. He's the Denver play-by-play announcer. Orton is hit as he tried to throw. Is that ruled a fumble?
Yeah, the beanbag was thrown by Jeff Triplett, our referee. He signals Kansas City ball.
And it's Ali again.
Ali has a knack. He's reaching out and just knocking the ball out of the hand of Orton before Orton can bring the ball through.
This is twice today. Ali has hit Orton as he's thrown, forced the fumble, and twice today Glenn Dorsey has been there to recover it.
Well, Scheffler can't get the block on Tamba Ali. Orton double clutches. That cost him. Did not like it right there. Comes off to an outlet receiver, and at this point, it's just too late.
3.5 sacks all year for the talented Ali, and he's got 3 today. His first 3-sack game.
New quarterback, Dick.
Yes, Brody Croyle from Alabama. He started the first game of the year when Castle was injured against Baltimore. Lost 38-24. Croyle off balance throws, complete to Cunham, but short of the goal line. For progress to the 3-yard line, and that is the end of the third quarter. Yeah, the Kansas City Chiefs and their fans have to be pleased that ugly third quarter is over for them. The Denver Broncos taking full advantage of 4 opportunities inside the Chiefs territory and a total of 20 points, and to build their lead to 34-6. Orton twice has been stripped by Ali, and now from the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. Start the fourth quarter. Charles into the end zone for a touchdown. 3rd of the year rushing for Kansas City.
And that's the way you get in the end zone. Don't hesitate. Hit that hole quickly. Great job by Jamal Charles running behind Brandon Albert, Brian Walters, and the tight end Leonard Pope. Boy, he just explodes off this left side. Castile leads on Dawkins, and he's in the end zone before he gets hit by Ronaldo Hill.
Charles with all 3 of Kansas City's rushing touchdowns on the season. Ryan Suckup for the extra point. And it's 34-13. And back in Kansas City, and here's Dan to recap that drive.
Well, if they continue at this pace, they'll be back in this game before you know it.
5-second drives are good. And it's all because of the great play defensively by Tamba Ali. Now they set up for a possible onside kick, but you feel the play here is to let it drive it deep with everybody for Denver up close to the line of scrimmage. No, he kicks it long. Buckhalter is going to return this one from the 6. He's done a lot today. Not this time. Dumped at the 20-yard line. The east to the west. Great architecture. Back in Kansas City, and there's Noshawn Moreno ahead for 4 on first down, as the rookie continues to add to his best of the league rookie rushing. He started today at 688, and you see the team now at 180. Moreno was 64 rushing yards today, and his counterpart Buckhalter with 114. Gaffney to the left with Marshall in the slot. Figures that the Broncos will try to stay on the ground with a big lead, not risk a possible interception, but no, Orton's going to throw. And throws it in the ground. Graham was well covered. That play wasn't going to work. Glenn Dorsey was right there. Hard to believe, but the statistic does not lie in this case. 1-15 in December in Kansas City, and then in fact the last 2 years, 2007 and 8, Broncos went into December looking for the AFC West title and failed on both occasions.
And that's why we've got a new coach in Denver, new quarterback as well, and new running back. Josh McDaniels got to be happy with what's going on so far in this December.
3rd and 6 to Marshall, and that's going to be for a first down and more. And now a foot race, 40, 30, and finally John McGraw gets Marshall out of bounds. All the way down to the 26, 27-yard line.
Really, again, it's this quick screen, a little bubble screen, one of the plays a lot of colleges run. Both Marshall gets out there with behind a couple of blockers. Daniel Graham, 89, and Jabbar Gaffney, number 10. And look at the speed as he splits the blocks and gets down the sidelines. Just the play that Denver needed to keep Kansas City in their place.
49 yards to Marshall and the Broncos and a first down. Moreno. Submarines inside the 25 in the grasp of Mike Vrabel.
Denver tried 2 screen passes. One was covered by Tamba Ali, and then Josh McDaniels comes right back with this quick screen out to the wide receiver Brandon Marshall. He gets a huge play out of it.
He is a true weapon after the catch. What a wonderful runner is Marshall for a big man. He's lithe and quick and put on some halfback moves. Moreno. Not much there as the Chiefs had that hole plugged thanks to Demario Williams. Buckholder now in on 3rd and 6. Out of the backfield, Buckholder. And he sprints to the sideline. Let's see where he stepped out of bounds at about the 14-yard line. That'll be short a yard of a first down. Brown and Carr there for Kansas City. And that will be close. Relay measure here. Sidelines with a lot of personnel there. And there's trying to get a look at the ball. They will. Referee Jeff Triplett asking for a measurement.
It looks like it's short to me, Jeff.
Don't have to go far for the chains. They're right there.
Yeah, I mean, the chains were right there. They didn't move all that much, did they?
So it's 4th and a long foot.
That's a good mark. He was definitely short. I don't think he got as much as they actually gave him.
Yeah, they gave him to the 17.5. Looked as if he might have been out at the 18.
Sure being careful about this one, aren't they?
4th down and inches, and so far no indication that Josh McDaniels is going to go for the field goal. Oh, we got a major mechanical problem now. Oh dear. Nothing tougher than a link problem. Oh, look at the seriousness. You could just see in his face. I mean, this could be rough.
Chain gang.
All right, 4th and inches, and Orton and the Broncos go for it. Moreno. They get a first down and a little bit more. 6 more points. Moreno untouched for the touchdown.
Yeah, his 2nd of the afternoon, his 4th and 5th of his rookie year. And this was about as easy as it gets. Daniel Graham with a good block there. Spencer Larson out in front. Very poor pursuit and penetration by Kansas City. Clady just seals off the inside, and an easy walk-in for Noshawn Moreno.
Denver 202 yards rushing in the game as Prater adds the extra point after San Diego took the Chiefs apart 43-14 a week ago, and it's been turnovers leading to punishing scores by the opposition. That's been the downfall of these Chiefs the last couple of weeks. Quentin Lawrence on the return. And toppled right at the 30-yard line. Champ Bailey and Ronaldo Hill in there on special teams. And how about Champ Bailey, this veteran cornerback, Pro Bowler, in on kick coverage. So Brody Croyle, number 3 pick of the Chiefs back in 2006, now the quarterback. He fires over the middle, incomplete, through the hands of Quentin Lawrence.
And that one will go down as a drop pass because that ball was fired right on target, a little bit high, but still you got to make the catch. I'm sure that's what Brody Croyle is thinking right now. Somebody's got to come up with a big play to give this team some type of positive feeling, some type of momentum.
Tavares Williams now in the backfield with Brody Croyle. Off the blitz, and he just did get it off, and he got it right in the back as Ty Law came in on a blitz. Veteran Law had a clean shot at Croyle.
That's the amazing thing about the Denver Broncos and their sack total. They've 32 on the year coming into today's game, and yet they're down linemen, their 3 down linemen, McBean, Fields, and Peterson, who start the game, only have 1. It's a very creative defense, very offensive thinking defense of Mike Nolan that really dictates the style of play to their opponent.
And they bluffs the blitz on that play, and Croyle winds up and throws it deep, incomplete to Bobby Wade.
You just wonder, going back to the first quarter when Wade could not make the catch as we got a flag down, but how that might have changed the ball game, or at least the tenor of the game. If Wade had been able to make the catch, maybe take it in for a long touchdown reception.
Apparently, referee Triplett picked up the flag. Well, holding against the Chiefs now, we understand, and declined by Denver. So in comes Colquitt to punt once again. He has been the highlight for Kansas City, as Josh McDaniels predicted. He said he's a severe weapon. Royal circling at the 19. Look out here. Got some blockers. And he's caught from behind and then still staggers forward to the 42-yard line. A dandy return by Eddie Royal. Back in chilly Kansas City. Quiet from the home folks. Denver fans, a couple of thousand here to cheer their Broncos. To a 41-13 lead, and now first down in Kansas City territory. Orton cranks it up and throws complete to his tight end Scheffler. And he's down to the 23-yard line. And the first down, Corey Mays, the tackle.
Aggressive play call on first down, a play action throwback to the tight end. Orton with a lot of time to throw, and a nifty route by Scheffler. Now, I'm not sure what he's trying to do to stretch out to pick up an extra foot or so, but he's got to hang on to this ball as Corey Mays is looking to strip it.
Getting word that 41 points is the most a Denver team has ever scored in Kansas City, and they're looking for more. Buckhalter and Vrabel slows him down, and tackle made at the 24, secured by Mike Brown.
We started talking today about Denver's problems playing here in December, just winning 1 and losing 15, and I always felt those were pretty good odds that a team might turn that around. Not so sure I would predict 41 points, though.
Meanwhile, Kansas City about to lose their 10th in a row in December, and that's the longest losing streak in this month in the NFL active. Loss of a yard on first down. Buckhalter stays in, shotgun, triple left formation, then the screen to Marshall, and the big man powers his way down to the 21-yard line. Well, the AFC playoff picture. They're the division leaders. Indianapolis looking for 12-0, and they lead 27-10 in the fourth quarter. And they will host this Denver team in Indianapolis next week. We'll be there. Looking forward to that. Cincinnati, San Diego, New England are the division leaders. But should Cleveland upset San Diego, then Denver with a win will move into a first place tie. And Pittsburgh trailing Oakland has just scored, and now it's the Steelers ahead 23-20 of the Raiders in the fourth. Eddie Royal will hand off, and wide receiver around the right side, and Mike Vrabel another tackle for Kansas City. That brings up fourth down, and out comes Matt Prater in the field goal unit.
Yeah, Denver fans got to be happy to see Eddie Royals okay. Had a good punt return moments ago, and then looked good on that reverse. So obviously he's not injured badly.
Prater sets up at the 27, 37-yard attempt. He powers it through. He gets the ball elevated so quickly. Solid kicker taking over for Jason Elam, who was a longtime favorite in Denver, but you gotta like what Prater delivers, and it's another 3 for the Broncos, adding to their all-time high score in Kansas City, 44-13. Here's the rest of the way for Denver. Their final 4 at Indianapolis next week, home against the Raiders, at Philadelphia, and they conclude the season against these Chiefs.
Yeah, strange scheduling with the Chiefs twice in December. And that one January 3rd at home. But a couple of tough ones on the road for the Broncos. It'll be interesting to see how Indianapolis plays it. Having clinched their division, of course, that home field advantage, very important. Again, and a team that plays indoors wants to have all that noise going into the playoffs with their home fans.
So Indianapolis goes on to win, and they have a sizable lead. That'll be 21 regular season victories in a row for the Colts. That ties New England's regular season record set a couple of years ago. And so when Denver goes to Indy next week, and we'll be there for a possible NFL record should the Colts make it 22. On the other hand, this Bronco team playing well enough to throw a pretty good challenge at Indianapolis.
Yeah, I think that'll be a great game because Denver obviously has righted the ship with the win last week against the Giants and then dominating the Chiefs this afternoon.
Quentin Lawrence fields the kickoff at the 7 and takes it to the 27.
It's like a lot of people here at Arrowhead are heading home to watch 60 Minutes.
Get an early start. Want to be there comfy by the fire. Enjoy one of the great nights on CBS. Starts with 60 Minutes every Sunday night. Brody Croyle at quarterback. Underneath, complete to Cottom. And the tight end is out to the 41-yard line on the first down with his second catch of the season.
Yeah, John Brody Croyle taking it to the next step, even wearing the number 12 of the great 49er quarterback.
And the scarlet jersey as well.
And proud of his Crimson Tide dominating Florida yesterday.
Weren't they impressive?
Man.
Croyle flipping it out to Cottom again. And he's to the 50-yard line for a gain of 9 more before Wesley Woodyard can make the stop. Woodyard, a great story. Undrafted out of the University of Kentucky. He was their #1 tackler with the Wildcats 3 years. Tried to quit football as a kid, and his mother says, "We don't quit anything." And he's been quite a good addition, good special teamer. Here's Tim Castile through a big hole, and he's down inside the 35 to the 34-yard line against a soft Denver defense. Robert Ayers makes the tackle, the #1 pick of the Broncos this year, as Josh McDaniels getting as many substitutes in on that defensive side as he can. It's Castile's longest ever rush, 16 yards in his 3-year career. He too from Alabama. Midpoint of this fourth quarter, 44-13, the Broncos commanding lead. Croyle to the sidelines through the hands of Wade. A tough catch, but Bobby Wade has not had a very good Sunday afternoon.
Well, it didn't start very well, and it's continuing. This ball was really well thrown by Croyle. And it goes right through the hands. You see Ty Law is still in the game, as is Champ Bailey, Ronaldo Hill, and Andre Goodman. So the 4 starting defensive backs are in for Denver, as is DJ Williams. So Mike Nolan's keeping his stars on the field.
Croyle over the middle this time, and it's complete. Quentin Lawrence, and that would be Lawrence's first catch in the NFL. Lawrence just shy of the first down at the 25. Played his college ball with the Cowboys of McNeese State. Croyle off play action, throws complete to Lance Long, and the little guy from Mississippi State has a first down as he ducks out of bounds at the 13-yard line.
The ball will be spotted, and the 6:35 on the clock will start to move, as it does right there. The better rules in the NFL, especially in this case.
Croyle. Come on, we were having such a good time. Now, come on, Dan, you enjoy our company. It's a great place to be. Except if you're that quarterback, a rough day for a very likable young man.
Yeah, unfortunately, early in my career, I was on the short end of a number of these, and in the stadium as well. Never easy place to play.
2nd and 10. Royal to the sidelines. Wade unable to pick that one off.
Boy, this ball go through his hands again. Like
That's a pretty tough catch. Come on.
Well, let's take a look if we could. Brody Croyle saying huddle up. He also might be saying catch the ball. Yeah, I mean that's a catchable ball. I'm sorry, it hit his hands.
Boy, you quarterbacks are rough. Jeez, you want everything.
Does that face tell you that should have been caught?
Yeah, he's
a quarterback.
I'm trying to make a case for Wade, you know. He's due to catch one. Come on, Bobby.
Bobby, stick him. Put some stick him on those gloves.
So now 3rd and 10 for Croyle and the Chiefs, and then a timeout. That'll leave Kansas City with 1 and 6:19 left to play. The Chiefs, this is the first of a 3-game home swing for Todd Haley's team. They got Buffalo coming in next week and then Cleveland the following. Finish the season on the road at Cincinnati and at Denver, 2 playoff-minded opponents.
Yep, changes in Buffalo. Cleveland continues to struggle, so things could look up for Kansas City, but what they have to do is just fix their own house. Too many mistakes, too many questionable decisions, and when it starts to snowball, especially this time of year, it's tough to stop.
Broncos just a game back of AFC West leaders San Diego. The Chargers in Cleveland, a late game today, and then they go to Dallas next week. They still have Philadelphia to play and Washington. Philadelphia on the road. Croyle over the middle, incomplete. Guess who? Darrell Reed putting pressure on Croyle. There are the standings, with San Diego needing a win at Cleveland to remain a game ahead of Denver. Oakland and Kansas City the bottom half of the AFC West. Chargers going for 7 in a row against the Browns. That brings up 4th down and 10. Complete underneath to the big fullback Tim Castile, and he's down to the 6-yard line, short of the 1st down, and the Broncos take over on downs. Tackle made by Darcel McBath, the rookie from Texas Tech.
And he had help from DJ Williams, the former #1 pick out of Miami. Just continues to make plays all over the field. McBath, the star special teamer, getting an opportunity to play safety.
Chris Sims takes over for the Broncos at the 5-yard line on downs. Sims last seen against San Diego. He started because of Orton's injured ankle and had a rough first quarter, was replaced by Orton. Son of our own Phil Sims, a great New York Giants quarterback, and a chance for him now, perhaps to, not in this situation, to loosen up that left arm, but at least get some game duty. And Peyton Hillis now the ball carrier. Hillis from Arkansas, 2nd year back, mostly used as a fullback. That's only his 5th carry all year. Demario Williams, the tackler. Sims, the 3rd-round pick by Tampa Bay 6 years ago.
No, he was sweating out last night's game against Nebraska.
Devoted Longhorn fan, understandably. 5 yards for Hillis to match the 5 yards he had accumulated all year. Another chance for Hillis. Blocked for a couple of pretty good backs with the Razorbacks, Darren McFadden and Felix Jones.
And last year, when the Broncos had all those injuries to their running backs, he came in late in the season, led the team in rushing, and proved to be very versatile. Good receiver out of the backfield. We know he can play special teams, but he's a solid player.
It's kind of stunning with the Broncos' history of running the football that Hillis, with 343 yards, led the team in rushing a season ago. Been 15 years since the Broncos have won here in Kansas City, and there's action before the snap. Which way does this one go?
False start. Number 73 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Back on the ground to Peyton Hillis, and he's out to the 15-yard line. That looks to be good enough for a first down. Tom Hali and others with the tackle.
Such a difficult time for both these teams to finish off this ball game. Kansas City defensively had no idea, no clue as to how to stop this rushing attack today, as Broncos ran it well left, they ran it well right, they ran it well up the middle, and now Hill is having some fun.
Meanwhile, the Chief just couldn't catch it. Back to Hillis, and he picks up good yardage on first down. Andy Studebaker with the tackle. The Broncos have felt the peaks, the mile-high peaks, and some tough lows in that 4-game losing streak, but it appears Josh McDaniels' team is putting the pieces back together and going to make their run here in December. Speaking of running, Hillis another try, and he stopped short of the first down once again by Andy Studebaker, a product of Division III Wheaton College.
And the Chiefs have had quite a few problems in this month of December. This will go down as their 10th consecutive loss in the month of December. It's not good company to be in there, the bottom feeders of the NFL, if you will.
This is a rare low for Kansas City in points allowed at home. They're usually very tough in that regard, giving up 44 points. Third most since 1970. Here comes Hillis, rumbling to the 35-yard line, and a first down. So it's Peyton Hillis carrying play after play. It's a magic Sims handoff.
Well, he breaks a tackle, a horse collar tackle right there. You just don't see that very often. It shows you the type of strength he has, as Demario Williams tried to bring him down by the back of the shoulder pads.
Yeah, we've updated the early results and some interesting developments late around the National Football League, so stay tuned to our post-game report. Indianapolis continues on an unbeaten run, only 4 from a perfect season. Jacksonville has won to further enhance their playoff bid. Hillis caught by Studebaker and unable to tackle him, and Hillis just fights his way out to 45, 46, 47, first down. Does go out of bounds. That stops the clock. Gives us a chance to salute the men and women who bring you the best of coverage here on CBS. Executive producer for the NFL on CBS, Sean McManus. Vice President Production, Harold Bryant. Today's game produced by Bob Monsbach and directed by Suzanne Smith. Coordinating producer, CBS Sports, Steve Karasik. Associate directors of today's game, Jason Ross and Mark Burkhardt. Broadcast associate, Brian Kozowski. Technical manager, Doug Fleetum. Technical director, Mike Tiffey. And the audio supervisor, Dave Grunvig. Videotape supervisor, Mookie Franta. Denver Zone, Butch Baird, Gary Brown, Michael Burton with their assistants here in our broadcast booth from Kansas City as the Broncos celebrating a high-scoring win. And Moreno, he's a little tough with his congratulatory messages, isn't he?
Well, I don't think he wanted him to go out of bounds necessarily. You know, they were on the sidelines trying to push him to stay inbounds, and he'll hear about that on the plane ride home back to Denver.
Final minute and 20 seconds ticking off at 2nd down 11. They don't need to run a play, and Chris Sims will chew up as much of the play clock as he can, down to 3-2, and then take the knee. One more knee down. And Matt Castle will have much to ruminate in the next 24 hours before the Chiefs try to put their game back together.
Castle 10 of 29 for 84 yards, no touchdowns, 2 picks, and betrayed by his receivers, a number of drop passes, a number of passes just off the mark that could have changed the title complexion of this ball game.
So the final kneel down by Sims. And the Broncos have secured their 8th win of the season. Final here, 44-13.